are a C shape and they move like this. What we're going to probably use is a piece of wood, a little tapper stick or copper enameroid, and we're just going to tap these pistons down the bore. They should move slowly. There's Josh's fact of the day.
I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Look at the beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.
When you look down, straight at the top of this engine, you'll notice that each bank is slightly staggered from the other.
Okay.
So the bank that's staggered further forward
is the first.
So the first piston you come to will be cylinder number 1. The closest in front of the block. And in the 302 it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There's Josh's fact of the day. Right, let's get this undone. So let's start with cylinder 1. So guys,
what outlets were we using? Are you buying pistons and rods?
Yes.
So
at the moment, yes.
So in all theory, we could take.
We can undo it with a gun. We don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, I'm more worried about lining it all up as once it's all taken out.
So
I will still put the main caps back together in case something happens. But,
what we're going to probably use is a piece of wood, a little tapper stick or copper enameroid, and we're just going to tap these pistons down the bore. They should move slowly, and then as they come out, the piston rings will expand. By not removing the pistons, guys, what we could come across as a problem is that the piston rings could be stuck in, okay, because they actually are a C shape and they move like this. So basically there's several different ones and they allow the exhaust fumes not to go past the piston. They still will get some, but not loads. So we're taking the main cap off there, big end cap, sorry.
There is
and they are quite scored.
They are quite scored, so it's a good job we're going to put those in.
So quite a big score mark in them, which is not a good sign. So, you know, us replacing this is a good idea. Let me put that there in just a second. Let me go this camera. So I want to watch this piston fall out of the base. Sorry to be a pain. I'm going to show these lovely people at home what we're doing. You're just knocking that down. I'm going to catch it under here.
You should see.
Look, he's using the block of wood so it doesn't damage the end of the threads.
We may foul on the bottom of the block, so I may have to turn the crank slightly.
We're good at the moment.
Just give me a second.
What he's saying there is this crankshaft is all the way around, okay? So we may be bashing our con rod on the side of the casting. We want to make sure that comes out nice and smooth.
So to remedy that, you just find the wrong size spanner for a start. If we were professionals, we'd have prepared this earlier.
Well, we did. You've got like a nice neat table over there with lots of sockets and everything ready to go.
Yeah, but I don't want a socket, I want a spanner.
An ear dammer. It's even more awkward when you mess up twice, isn't it, George?
Oh, that's terrible. I'm going to go for a socket. I know what size it is as well, it's 24. For whatever reason, I decided not to get a 24mm spanner. Feel free to fill this lull.
And guys, back to the removal of the pistons.
That was you on your America tour, wasn't it? Piston broke.
Yeah.
Right. Just need to nip that up before I turn it.
No. So guys, what's happened here is he's trying to basically turn the crankshaft in an anti-clockwise direction.
That's what I want to do.
There you go. Just line that nice up there and then we should be able to slide that straight out.
Where's my little chocolate? I've got a handle. I had a block of wood here.
You did have.
Do you know what I did with that?
You must put it somewhere safe.
I'm very good at putting things in safe places. I don't know what I've done with it. I'm sorry, I better use the end of my hammer anyway.
No, it's bashing on me.
That's fine.
Nice and slowly, guys. You don't want to impact the end of the threads at all and damage them because it would be very costly. There we go. And you can see, look straight away, guys, those piston rings are moving absolutely lovely. That's number one. Number one out. And you can see they actually look relatively clean, but please do not be deceived. These pistons, although they look clean, may not be new. I mean, we can get that inspected, can't we? To see if there's no casting numbers or anything fancy.
We're going to have these pistons replaced anyway, so
well, they're out.
Right. The condition that they're in is kind of irrelevant. Are we going to go with some some flat top pistons and lose this disc to bring our compression ratio up.
Whatever the headman tells me, because that is what they're paid to do. Let's put that end cap on, the right way around.
Numbers matching? I see.
No.
No, wrong way around. That's how you don't do it.
So guys, what we're saying here is make sure that every single one comes off in the same manner.
Nuts.
These nuts. Right, next of all, we're going to be removing the rest of the piston, so we're going to speed this little section up for you. Let's get to it. Good, that one's a good one, so we're good. They're moving really nicely, which is the one thing I wanted to double check about. Making sure they moved good, but all the bearings are very, very worn. So we're doing the right thing, you know.
Fortunately for us though, our crank is in quite good shape.
It's in very good shape. There's no real score marks on any of it, which is nice. The crankshaft you can see here moves unbelievably smooth, which means our bearings are in very, very good condition. And this is basically doing like one turn with our fingers. This thing does 5,000 to 8,000 revolutions per minute. So for every 60 seconds, that thing is going around 5,000 times. There doesn't seem to be any end floats. There's a very small amount which you expect. You want the crank to move very, very minimally. And now we're going to be removing our timing chain. So on the timing chain, guys, what you have, okay, which you can see here, I'm just going to pull the camera down a bit, is these two dots. So you have an up and a bottom dot. So you have a crank and a camshaft dot. So as you turn that round, okay.
That should be at the top both sides now.
So that's at the top both sides. Yeah. And then we're going to turn that all the way around, and you want those two dots to line up. I'm sure there's someone at home telling me that I'm out. But for every one turn of the crankshaft, okay, you have, I believe, 2 turns of the camshaft.
Other way around.
Okay.
So the crankshaft will turn 2 times for every time the camshaft turns.
No worries. So here is your, I believe this is the fuel pump.
Yeah, most likely the lift.
So this is on an eccentric. So as this turns round, it will move in an oscillation, and it's held together with a dowel pin. So the dowel pin allows it, as a normal wheel would go round in a perfect circle. The wheel is mounted slightly off, so this actually turns. If you watch there, see it's not completely straight, it's completely off. So basically what that allows us to do is, if there's a rod there, we'd be turning that and it'd be pushing the rod and then back in. So that obviously allows your fuel pump to pump the fuel up into your carburetor. What we're going to do first of all, hopefully my buddy Josh has got the right tool to hand. He's going to undo the bolt on there. Lovely jubbly. And basically removing this will, you don't have a tensioner on this, by the way, so it's on a keyway. So you see in here, number 1, that's our keyway, on the actual timing cover just there. And you see that I've just moved that, and that has allowed my camshaft, to slide into the engine. I'm just going to slide that off. I'm going to push the camshaft in. There we go. A little bit jiggly.
Just wants to come off nice and square.
Nice and smooth. But we are going to have a bit of...
if we can, we'd like to pull that crankshaft pulley forward at the same time.
We can't. There we go. So basically, guys, the camshaft and the crankshaft pulley is on a keyway. So you've got a nice keyway on the crank, which allows the actual gear to slide along it. So this gear itself can move along it, and it runs along that keyway. So if it's not on the keyway, it can turn. See that? So if that turned, that would spin, and all your valves would hit the pistons and fin. As you slide it down, you've got it on that keyway, and it can no longer turn now unless you're moving the crankshaft. When it's off the keyway, you can't. You see, it turns without connection to the crank. So that's good. Our camshaft now, okay, should be as simple as it should just slide out.
You probably have to take this retaining ring out.
Yep, so you pull your retaining ring off, which we don't have with us, which is annoying. Should we get the crankshaft out?
Well, you can do. I was just going to undo those two little bolts.
Yeah, no worries.
So on the next episode, we're going to be removing the crankshaft.
Josh, please can you remove the crankshaft for me? Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and then the bell button, so you get alerts when we release new episodes, and follow us on social media too for extra stuff and more alerts about videos we're releasing, which at the moment is every Sunday and the odd Wednesday too. Bye for now.